Hello. Welcome to my new series for Baldur's Gate 3. This is going to be my second playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. I've already done one playthrough with a custom character. I did mostly good aligned stuff, recruited all the companions that I could, and tried to give them all as much playtime as possible. So this time, I'm going to do things a little bit differently, and I want to bring you all along for the ride. Before I'd even finished my first playthrough, I already knew that I was going to want to do a second one, and do things a bit more evil the second time around. And so I've been planning this run for a couple of weeks, as well as trying to get my computer set up for recording it, so that I could take you on the adventure with me. I came to a couple of conclusions when I was planning this run. First of all, because in my first playthrough I was playing good and trying to recruit as many of the companions as possible, I did not recruit Minthara. It did become clear to me later that I could have theoretically recruited her in Act 2. But this time around, we will be recruiting Minthara, and we will be recruiting her in Act 1, which means some of the other companions are not available to us without the use of mods. So, yeah, we're already going down a different path that should yield some entirely different scenes and dialogue options and things like that. And I can't wait for that. That's going to be so cool. Getting to hear some voice actors that we haven't really gotten a chance to hear more than a couple of sentences from before. So, with that in mind, one of the characters who doesn't typically take too kindly to you recruiting Minthara in Act 1 is Karlach. And I love Karlach as a character. It was beautifully performed, and such a likable character that for an evil playthrough, I'm very curious if it's even possible to make Karlach unlikable. We're going to try. So Karlach is going to be our character. We're going to be playing Avatar Karlach for this evil playthrough. And considering that we have Avatar Karlach and Minthara, I'm rounding out the lineup, Lae'zel and Shadowheart, and we're going to call this the Mean Girls playthrough for Baldur's Gate 3. I think it should be really fun to see all four of these characters together consistently, kind of being jerks to everybody else. And I say everybody else because in the interest of making this playthrough effective, they're going to be nice to each other. The Mean Girls are going to stick together really hard. They're going to back each other up whenever one of them has a goal or something they're trying to achieve. The rest of the crew has their back. It's everybody else that sucks, not us. And so there may be a couple of other NPCs that we treat kindly if we determine that they're necessary for our goals, and that intimidating them or betraying them is going to have negative consequences for what we're trying to achieve. But for the most part, we're going to be dicks to everybody. One other exception is animals. I'm not really interested in either literally or figuratively kicking puppies, and so some of our characters are going to have the ability to talk to animals, and we're going to be kind to animals. It's just the decision that I made about this run. So I have given myself permission to use quick saves and quick loads, just in the interest of trying to keep things on track and make sure that we're achieving the broader goals for the run. I'm not going to use it all the time. I think some of the dialogue options that I've seen online for failed conversation skill checks are so incredible that I can't wait to see what happens if I fail to intimidate somebody or fail to deceive them. So I won't be quick loading and hot loading for any of those things unless it's a thing that is like seriously undermining progress through the campaign. And I'm going to try to edit around the quick any saving and loading to try to minimize the length of the episode so you're not watching a bunch of loading screens the whole time. I will be using some light modding, nothing crazy. Mentioned before, there are some mods to help recruit multiple companions that might otherwise be mutually exclusive, or influence their standing with you, how much they approve of your actions. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I want to see what the consequences of our actions are if we are going down the path that we're going, and I'm worried that using any mods that influence character dialogue or relationships or whatever might undermine that. And so we're going to suffer the consequences of our actions for the most part with who we recruit and how we interact with people. So the mods that I use are going to be mostly for modifying the UI or inventory management, stuff like that. I'll probably have a list of the mods that I'm using in the description of the video, because some of them are quite helpful in making the game a little bit easier to play, not from a difficulty standpoint, but just from like a logistics standpoint. So, since this is an evil playthrough, and I'm going to be trying to keep the cast limited to these 4 characters, I came to some conclusions about classes and subclasses and that sort of stuff to try to hit a good spread of skill proficiencies and utility and stuff like that. So I came up with a list here that I'm going to share with you now. Karlach is going to be an Oathbreaker Paladin, which should be fun. From what I understand, there's like entire quests and dialogue stuff related to that. Lae'zel is actually going to be a wizard in the School of Necromancy. Shadowheart will be a monk in the Way of Shadows, and Minthara will be a rogue, specifically an assassin. Probably discuss these considerations and why I've chosen these subclasses as I'm filling out people's proficiencies and picking certain spells and that sort of stuff. But I did it because, first of all, it's an evil playthrough, and these were some of the more evil subclasses and classes that we could pick. I also wanted a good array of skill proficiencies, and some of these are just classes or subclasses that I've always wanted to play and haven't really had an opportunity to. And Baldur's Gate 3 is a great environment for trying out 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons mechanical stuff, because with some exceptions, it is pretty true to Dungeons and Dragons rules. And so, yeah, that's going to be fun. I also have a bit of a multi-class twist that'll come online around levels 5 and 6 that I can't wait to try out. I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket until it comes up. So that should be fun. I've never done anything like this before with recording content for YouTube, so I'm very interested to see how it evolves and how it develops as I get more practiced at it. Hopefully you'll be kind and patient with me as I learn. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that's a little bit awkward at the beginning as I work things out, but I appreciate your patience. Ooh, like this. My camera just kicked off, and I gotta kick it back on. It's upside down, which is why my Elgato overlay there is upside down. Here we are. We're back. Yeah, technical glitch. I've researched how to fix this. I thought I had. Apparently, I have not. So yeah, technical glitches. That was perfect timing. So if you have any feedback on how to improve the channel, things you want to see, things that you're tired of seeing, let me know in the comments. Please be nice. Yeah, if there's anything that you're interested in seeing from the series, like, oh, I can't wait to see how Shadowheart deals with this character, or what happens when Lae'zel interacts with this person, yeah, let me know in the comments. And thank you, and we'll see you soon. Actual run.